Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. I'm your host, Dave, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister, Katie. Katie, what's happening?
What up? Not much. Just still reeling from Game of Thrones, kind of, I guess. What about you?
I'm done reeling. It's
You're
we're a
not
little
reeling?
we're a little late, aren't we? We're like a week late on this.
We're a bit late. Yep. It's been a
So
crazy week for me. Like I've been pretty busy.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't really say the same.
Yeah.
I've been working, and
The
same
same.
same old, but just I it's been long enough where I'm not reeling anymore, I guess is what
Right,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
I feel like there's no rush about it because it's going to be a solid year and a half or so before it's on again. So like we have plenty of time to discuss it and ruminate on it. So I didn't feel like being a week late with our podcast was really going to make too many waves. So plus we don't have anything else to talk about right now. So
Right. I mean, we could talk about Big Brother, but there's not much to
um
talk about there either.
the
So
more left unsaid about it, I think the better. So I think we'll just stick to Game of Thrones for this podcast.
yeah. And we got Survivor coming up real
Oh
soon.
yeah, I'm
So
so excited. It's like you've been living in a dingy basement, like watching Big Brother and checking Twitter live feeds, and then you like emerge into the sunshine when Survivor starts. It's like the best.
yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But just in case anyone here hates both of those shows, which is very possible,
Lots of
um,
people. Yeah.
let's just jump into talking about Game of Thrones.
All
This
right.
was the season finale of season 7.
Yep.
Just one season left. And how you feeling about it, Katie? Like, were you satisfied with this finale? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought, like a lot of the fandom, was a little like ooh after episodes
Mhm.
5 and 6 because I mean we've talked about how the time they're freewheeling with distance and time. It doesn't bother us as much, but there's a lot of like naysayers after the Beyond. I can't talk. I'm sorry. The Beyond
Balant?
Beyond the Wall episode. People were pretty like, oh, I don't like where this is going. This show is getting crappy. I feel like this episode did a really good job of writing the ship, mostly because they focused, I think, on character stuff. Like the first whole 40 minutes of the episode was that whole meeting in the dragon pit, and that was a lot, and like so many characters together in the same place. But it wasn't like a violent thing. It was all about character. And so and then you had the Stark thing finally, Arya and Sansa like finally doing what we hoped they would do. So I thought they fixed a lot of things that I was worried about. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked that Baelish got his throat slashed in this
That was
because
pretty great. The whole way how Sansa just turns her head and says, Lord Baelish, and his face.
yeah, that dude that faked me out, man. I didn't see it coming. I did
Yeah,
not.
I was like, what is I was so mad at Sansa. I was like, what are you doing? Don't kill
Yeah.
Arya.
Oh, it was a good fake. I mean,
It was really good.
I'm stoked that it happened because I know you would be so pissed off at the show if like, and I mean, I you made a good point last podcast about why you were
Mhm.
why you'd be upset by that. So I'm glad that it seems like the writers are sticking to what who these characters are, who they've
Mhm.
been, and I like the outcome. It does feel like a little anticlimactic for Littlefinger
Little.
because he
Mhm.
seems like such a bigger player and like like such a stronger player in the Game of Thrones, and like, but you just got to lose him at some point, like something's got to
Yeah.
happen with him. So I don't
It'd
know.
be a pretty nihilistic worldview if Littlefinger ended up on the Iron Throne. But I mean, I think we're going to get to a point where the Iron Throne is meaningless. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, either way, you've got like it's all about incest now. Like the show is
Yeah,
about incest.
really.
Either outcome of the Game of Thrones is going to be an incestuous couple having incestuous babies carrying
Yeah,
on
it's
an
like one.
incestuous
It's gonna
lineage.
okay. So if Danny's pregnant, Cersei's pregnant. So is it gonna be incest baby versus incest baby? Is that what it all boils down to in the Game of Thrones? Like
Yeah,
who's
I
the
mean,
incestiest?
like what's the history in Game of Thrones? Like is there a history of incest before this
Yes, the
or
Targaryens always
They were always
married brother and sister. Yeah.
Oh, so that's always been a thing with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this makes a lot of sense then that John and Danny end up
But
together.
it's like, you know, George Martin, why? Why?
I don't know, because it's like
why do the two most beautiful, attractive, young, powerful people on the show have to be related? And then why can't you use that as a reason to not put them together? But he's going to do both. Yes, they're related. Yes, they're going to hook up. Yes, they're going to bone while we're revealing that they are related.
I know, and make and like glorify it too, like with like a
Yeah.
like uplifting soundtrack. While like, oh
Well,
my,
Tyrion creeps on.
I don't know if I can get on board with this, man. Like the more it's like I don't know. When you actually start thinking about it and talking about it, it's not great, man. I don't know.
It's not great, but you have to think about it in the no, I'm just saying people will justify it by looking at it in the context of the story that this is the world they live in where incest happens, especially if you're Targaryens, which both of them are. But it's kind of like I like to read Jane Austen novels, and there's one Mansfield Park where the protagonist, the heroine of the story, is in love with her first cousin. Like, and I read that whole story thinking it was so good, yet I could not get past that. I know what happened back then. In the English, you know, gentry. I don't know what gentry is, but like the fancy
Gendry,
the
English
no,
Gendry?
not gentry, not gentry. The you know the fancy the upper class in England in the 18th, even like as recent as the 20th century. I think cousins still got married, but I just like it bothered me in that book. So it's kind of hypocritical for me to say it doesn't bother me on the show. But we've known, like, if you've been a fan of the books before the show even started and you were thinking maybe John and Danny could be a thing, you have to know that there's a possibility they're related. Like true like book fans have known this from episode 1 that John and Danny could be related.
Yeah, but you didn't know they were going to hook up.
I mean, come on, though. The most beautiful girl and the hottest guy, they're not going to eventually meet up.
Whoever said he's the hottest guy? Like, it's...
Well, the hottest one that's not dead.
I mean, he's maybe the hottest guy after casting Jon Snow on the show, but like in the books, he was never like, he was the handsomest man in the world. It was
but he just has that archetype where it's like,
he's hero.
He's the hero. He's the young, reluctant hero. She is the young, beautiful, fiery, dominant queen. Like, they're gonna meet.
And hook up? Like, does that have to happen? Like you said, like, why didn't he just not have that happen?
Because they fell in love with each other before they... You know, Luke and Leia never took it to those levels. It's too late.
They never went all the way.
Yeah, it's too late for John and Danny to right that wrong.
Oh, man. Well, like you said, I guess I can sort of buy the whole, you know, it's part of the history, like with Targaryens, and it's just part of this world. But yeah, I think about like Jaime and Cersei, and like at the beginning of the show when it first aired and everybody's watching the show, they're like, ew, Jaime and Cersei, what a bunch of
and now
assholes.
they're like, yeah, John and Danny.
John and Danny, yes, finally. And it's like they're both related, and
well, to be fair, Jaime and Cersei are a lot more related.
Is
and
like
they know they're related.
Aunt and
they
nephew
know.
And brother and sister. Yeah, I guess it's
twins.
Yeah, that's really bad. Okay.
Like they've known from the moment they were born they are related.
But yeah, you can't talk about the finale without mentioning the incest thing. I don't think
it's on people's minds.
I don't think we should spend too much more time on it, but like that just had to be said. Like, it's
confusing, and also
I don't like it.
There's been some debate about this. Why do you think Tyrion was so clearly upset by what was happening?
Because he knows they're related.
Tyrion doesn't know that.
Tyrion knows everything.
Tyrion does not. I think
he suspected. He suspected.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think he just thinks that it's going to complicate things. Like
for
those
him.
two, for everyone.
Oh, for everyone, yeah.
Because she's already making decisions. Like, she definitely should have ridden the dragon in. I feel like Ser Jorah recommended, but she looks at Jon and she's like, "We'll sail together." Subtext: we want a bone.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what was going on. I mean, that's what she was
that's
saying.
exactly what they both had in mind. They didn't even need to say anything. He just knocked on the door, and it was like, "This is why we're sailing together, right?"
God, it's terrible. Yeah, can we talk about something else?
Yes. Okay. What do you want to talk about?
I mean, do you want to recap the episode? I mean, I'd be happy to throw out any cool things I thought from the episode, but like,
Yeah, just throw out some cool things. I don't think we need to recap. It's been a week. People know what happened if they
yeah, I mean,
watched.
everybody's recapping this. I mean,
Yeah.
what would you really like to talk about? Like, I don't even know that I have anything off the top of my head about the episode to talk about. Um,
Maybe we can just talk about some of our favorite parts of the episode and then maybe like make some predictions. Like I know we have a long time, but like where do we think this is going to go? There's only 6 episodes left. They say each episode is going to be like a supersize episode. So it might be the length of a regular season, but I doubt it. But yeah, I think highlights, predictions.
Okay. A weird moment that just comes to mind for me from the episode. I actually kind of liked the Theon part because I liked the symbolism when he gets like kneed in the junk and there's nothing there. And because of that, he's able to turn the fight around. So it was
Yeah.
sort of like his weakness became his strength.
Yeah, that's how I
You
read
know?
it. Like he used, like it brought him back there, and he decided instead of continuing to let it bring me down and being this guy, he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna let this happen anymore. I'm going to turn this into a strength. And I think it might have been a little clunky the way they did it, but I think the message to me, I got the message pretty clear. But it also came right after his talk with Jon Snow about how Jon told him, you can be both a Stark and a Greyjoy. You don't have to choose. So
Yeah.
apparently that's what he needed to like just stop feeling ashamed of what he'd done and start being more like Ned. Like, who cares about the Greyjoys? I'll just be a junkless Ned Stark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I loved that. Like, I loved that Jon Snow, was able to say kind of what he needed to hear. And I love that he identifies as a Stark and wants to be more like Ned, and that he turned his weakness into his strength. And I just really liked it. I didn't think you could put Theon in the finale and have anything interesting about it, but I liked the turnaround. It was really good.
Yeah, I like how all of the Stark children, like, and pseudo Stark children and Theon Greyjoy, like, they all just came into their own in this episode, and it was really, it's like finally, because they've spent like all their time in Winterfell kind of bickering, and I don't think that Arya and Sansa had that planned all along. I think there was initially some friction between them. I don't know when they made their plans or whatever, but it's just so nice to see all of them like channeling their roots in a way. You know how Sansa gave that speech about how the lone wolf dies but the pack survives? Like, they're all still around and now they're like thriving. And maybe it's because the pack is still there.
Yeah, they're all going to start working together, and that's going to be what puts them on top, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, anything come to mind for you? Any scenes or character moments?
Well, I think we need to talk about Cersei and Jaime a little bit. Well, Cersei, first of all. I really love the scene between Cersei and Tyrion, even though it pissed me off at first because Cersei's such a dumb bitch. But not even dumb. Like, she's just a biatch in it. But she's always been that way. So for her to act any other way would not be right. So did you buy at first that she was actually going to help them, or did you know all along that she was double crossing them?
Well, I kind of spaced out at the part towards the end where she's explaining to Jaime exactly what her plans are. So if you would be so kind to as to enlighten me on what exactly, because I just got the sense, without listening to the dialogue completely, I probably started looking at my phone for a bit or something.
How dare you?
But like, I just got the sense that she, was double crossing them. But what did she say exactly? Like, what's going on there?
To Jaime? What did she say to Jaime?
Yeah, like, did she say what her plans were basically about?
Yeah, like Jaime was preparing to go north and preparing the army to go north and help I always want to say Dan and Johnny, John and Danny, fight the war against the White Walkers. But as he was doing it, Cersei beckons him to her, and she says, "What are you doing? We're not going north. We are going to take back the lands that Daenerys has taken from us." And Euron didn't actually flee. He went over to Essos to ferry the Golden Company, which is a group of mercenaries over to. Yeah, so
I guess I did listen to that part.
So, like, I mean, were you shocked that, like, this is completely in her character, but I still for a second thought, you know, maybe Cersei was actually going to help. So I was a little bit surprised, but not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked by the final outcome.
Right.
But yeah, I was kind of in the same boat that when Tyrion's walking back, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe he, you know, Tyrion's got a silver tongue sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he convinced her, but you know, she friggin' hates Tyrion. Like, it should have been obvious that this was never going to happen. So what did she just tell Tyrion what he wanted to hear so that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we don't know exactly how that conversation ended, which has led to some stupid theories that are out there that they made some sort of underhanded deal where Tyrion is not looking out for Dany's best interest, but that's just complete speculation. So I just think that, yeah, Tyrion bought it, which is another example of how Tyrion seems to be flailing in whatever he's doing, or just floundering, not really on his A game.
Yeah, I mean, this was a character moment for Tyrion where you thought, like, okay, he's doing something good for the team again. He hasn't done anything good for a really long time, and they just yoink that one right away from him again. So it's like Tyrion's just not getting anything done.
Yeah, and he's just creepily looking like, I know you don't want to go back to the incest thing, but that I just can't help.
Was he like looking through the keyhole or something?
No,
was
he didn't see what was going on, but he, like, you know, draw your own conclusions.
Right. He knows. He knows what's going on. Yeah.
He clearly knows.
He knew with the look. He knew at the look. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, he looked very upset. Anyway, so Cersei, I can't say her name anymore. Like Cersei. Acts twice like she's gonna kill. First, she looks like she's gonna kill Tyrion. Then she acts like she's gonna kill Jaime. Did you think she was really gonna go through with either of those?
I thought maybe Tyrion. I thought you know, Game of Thrones likes to kill off major characters and shock everyone.
They used
to. Yeah, they've backed off that a little bit, which is good, I think. But yeah, so I thought maybe they'd be going the Tyrion route, like Tyrion's going down. I kind of had a feeling Jaime wasn't going down, but
I thought she was gonna kill Jaime because she said yes. She nodded.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just gonna say, what's with the nod that she apparently the Mountain can understand the nuances between like kill that guy and just, you know,
pretend you're gonna kill that guy?
Scare him a little bit. I don't understand where that's.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Like she said, yeah, he's gonna kill him, but then he just left.
Yeah,
and
so
like they broke up. Cersei and Jaime broke up.
Basically, and so he wants to go help fight the zombies then? Is that what's going on?
I think the indication is that he's going north, but the indication is also that it's snowing in King's Landing, like winter is coming there too.
Right, yeah, I forgot. That's how it ended, is Jaime's riding north and the snow's coming, and then, well, we could talk about this for a second, like the dragon destroying the wall. How crazy is that?
Yeah, dude. Like, what sucks is that everybody's going north, including Jaime. You're going to have everybody in the freaking north when the Night King and the dead Viserion show up and blow it to hell.
Well, it's got to be a battle. I mean, it can't just be like, oh, they dropped a bomb. That's no fun. It's going to be like...
I suppose, yeah.
It's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome.
It's not going to be without death.
Right. Did Tormund... is that his name? Tormund?
Yeah. Tormund and Beric were there. See,
survive?
I think they survived, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but they just had this huge episode before where they could have given them meaningful deaths if they were just going to kill them off, you know? But I think that they were heading down towards the stairs, but then they saw that that part of the wall was getting destroyed and people were falling into it, and so they turned and ran the other way. And really, the Night King and his dragon just destroyed it. They just put a hole in the wall. They did not bring down the whole wall. All you need to do is knock a hole in it big enough for your guys to get through.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they died here. I think
I don't think so either, because that's Barrick has 7 lives, and you're just gonna have him die off screen for the last time. Come on.
yeah, I don't think we're even meant to think that they died. I think we're meant to, they saw that what was coming and they're like run and they ran and they got away. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it. So
Yeah, they turned and ran the opposite direction, so I think they're fine.
yeah,
Like,
let's just leave it at that.
you
They're
know
alive.
what? Did you like? I didn't mean to jump ships real quick, but the moment between the Hound and Brienne was probably my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah, I was gonna that was like after the Theon thing. That was the other thing floating around in my head was the Brienne and Hound reunion.
He smiled. I don't think he's ever smiled in the whole show before.
Did she comment on that or did he just
No,
smile?
she smiled too when she saw him smiling. She smiled. And I'm like, these people tried to like straight up kill each other, and look at them just being all cute and civil together. I thought it was super cute.
Yeah, it's interesting how fast things can turn around in Westeros.
I feel like Brienne maybe she just has chemistry with everyone, but like there's a Tormund and Brienne ship, there's a Jaime and Brienne ship, and now there's possibly a Hound and Brienne ship. Like she just gets it with everyone. Everybody
Right.
loves Brienne.
Sorry, my computer is doing something funny. 1
I was
second.
gonna say you've got crazy eyes there for a second.
Oh, really?
You were like shifty.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it said it was signing me out of the account, and I thought it was our account while we were talking, but it was
I'm still
just
talking to you.
it was my other Gmail account, so I think
Okay.
that's what happened. Okay.
Excellent.
All right, we're good. But yeah, sorry. What?
I was talking about Brienne, how she has chemistry with every dude she comes across, except
Right.
Littlefinger. But Littlefinger's dead now, so she doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, why is that? Is it?
She's just a charismatic person, I suppose. Which is funny because in the books she's not supposed to be.
Yeah, that Brienne, she's real charismatic.
I don't know. Just throwing it
Yeah,
out there.
she's got a lot of charisma. That Brienne.
All right. So, do you want to make some predictions, or is there more you want to discuss?
I got nothing in particular I want to talk about. If there's anything you feel like we should touch on.
I mean, there wasn't that many parts of the episode. That first part of the episode took a solid like 45 minutes. Did you think for a split second that when the Hound opened the box that the white was just going to be like motionless and it was just going to be all for nothing? I totally thought that's what was going to happen.
I don't know. Like, what can you really do from a plot perspective if that's what happens? Like,
I know, but like it flashed through my mind for a second that would happen. And did you see Qyburn's face when he picked up the hand? He was like
excited, wasn't he?
In love with it. Yeah.
That's like because he's like a scientist.
Well, he's like obsessed with like reanimating the dead. So
yeah, he's like a necromancer, basically.
Yeah, for
basically
sure.
a necromancer. Yeah.
I've never really known what that means, but it sounds like it's right.
That's what it means. It's like a wizard.
Animate the dead.
It's a wizard of the dead. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Okay.
So
would you call the Night King a necromancer?
I guess so. It's
He's got a whole bunch of dead guys with him.
He's like more of like a ghost or something like really ghoulish like that, not necessarily a wizard.
Yeah, there's theories that, and in the book, this is the same, that he is he was a Stark when he was alive, or he was in the Night's Watch or something. And then there's this shot of an aerial shot of the undead, or whatever you want to call them, the dead, walking through the wall, and they form the direwolf sigil.
Yeah, I heard that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so it seems to lend credence to so maybe he just wants to get so far as Winterfell. Maybe he doesn't have plans on going further south than that. I just hope that I would like to know what his motives are. Like, what does he want? Like, are we going to get a backstory on the Night King? I feel like I want it. I'm
okay.
Planting my flag.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it. No, I'm cool with that. But like, at the same time, it's one of those things. Like, you just need a force of evil in stories like this, and sometimes you can just leave it at that. It's like this dude is just the evil bad guy, and he wants to take over the world, and that's it. You don't need to do much.
That's never been Game of Thrones' shit. Game of Thrones has always been about shades of gray and the nuance behind people's motivations. Whereas like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, like Voldemort's just evil and Sauron's just evil. But like, what is the driving force behind this guy? I think in a story like this, we need to know.
I don't know. Voldemort has like a backstory, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, but
it's real like anticlimactic. It kind of boils down to like, I got made fun of and I liked a girl or something. Wait, no, I'm thinking of a girl. I'm thinking of Snape. Sorry. Voldemort is like, what's his deal? What's his motive again? He was a beat up kid or
he
something?
had a crappy childhood and he's obsessed with like being pure blood wizards.
Oh, that's right. He's all about the pure bloods.
Basically, racism is the core of that story.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough Harry Potter talk. That'd be cool. I guess there's a lot there that it could be a Stark connection.
I hope like it. I was at a point where I was okay with the books not coming out. But now after they've like truncated these seasons so much, like I really want to know what his version of events is. But I'm sad again that they're not coming out. Like I still don't think they're going to come out, but I'm not as okay with it as I was a few months ago.
Right. Sorry, what'd you say about the books?
I said that I feel like they'll go into a lot more nuance about things like the magic behind the White Walkers and the others and the children of the forest and how it's all connected. And I feel like there will be a backstory. But in the show, they've got.
They're not coming out now or something, or they're never coming out?
I believe they're not coming out.
Oh, I thought. See, that's the part I missed. I thought you said like news came out that the books aren't coming out.
It's just like put two and two together. You'll figure out that he's not made them a priority, and they're probably not going to come out.
That's really sad. That's
sad. Blame the little troll of a man who decided he could write this amazing story and then just stop.
Troll of a man that gave us 5 amazing books.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
You got to follow through, man. You got to finish that shit.
It's kind of mean. It's, don't you remember? I've mentioned this so many times, but like I like to throw it in his face as much as I can. But after Lost ended, how he tweeted or whatever that, rest assured, my story will have a way better ending than that. And I'm like, well, you know what, bitch? They gave it an ending. What have you done?
Yeah, at least they tried,
Yeah.
Take that. How
George
about
Martin. George Martin.
All right. We've I remembered. A lot of talk about Bran being connected to the Night King somehow. Is there anything to that, or what's all that talk about?
That's nonsense. We've seen the Night King.
Understand that all I read is Facebook headlines.
Okay.
I just scroll through Facebook, and I usually don't look at anything longer. Articles I don't fall for the clickbait. I don't click on anything there. I'm usually on Facebook just to kill like 2 minutes while I'm waiting in line or something.
Right.
And I because they know I'm a nerd and that's stuff I like, because Facebook knows everything about you and everything, you like. I get all the Game of Thrones headlines. So all I see is like, Bran is the Night King and stuff like this. What is that about? I never click on it.
I think there was the Night King's ensemble is similar to Bran's ensemble, but the Men of the North wear typically the same thing. I think it's an oversimplification of viewers seeing a similar outfit and not thinking like, oh, it probably means he's from the North. Instead, they're like, oh, it's Bran. But we literally saw the Children of the Forest make the Night King. Was that Bran Stark that they were plunging that dragon glass into? No, it was some dude without a shirt on. It was not Bran Stark. He was watching it happen. So I think that's nonsense.
Right. So does the three-eyed crow have any control over the Night King or anything like that? Is there any connection there?
I feel like there's a connection. But again, we don't know what it is because we know nothing about this guy.
But you don't think it's like control, like Bran is in control of the Night King and his army?
I don't think so. I don't think Bran is a force for the Night King.
I don't think so either.
I think he's still figuring out what he's capable of doing and seeing. I don't think he has it all put together yet. Like how he's sitting by the fire, and there was this awesome meme going around about, or tweet, someone said, Bran, I know everything. Also, Bran, who is it? Like he doesn't know who's at the door.
Oh, that's good.
So like he doesn't have it all put together yet.
Yeah, I think it's just another clue. You know, the similarities with Bran that they're seeing is just another clue that yes, maybe the Night King as a human person was a Stark, or you know, maybe all these people were banished from the Stark house a couple hundred years ago, and now they want revenge on the Stark house for being banished or something like that.
Exactly. Like, all I want is some clarification on what their deal is. That's all I want. Just his deal. I don't need anybody else's deal. I just want his.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Yes. Any other predictions, or you want to make some predictions? More predictions?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Make a prediction, Dave. For next season.
Well, this isn't an original idea. Like, I got this sort of when I was reading an article, but I feel like it's totally accurate. Basically, you're gonna have a Hound and Arya reunion, and that's why Clegane Bowl is gonna happen. Is like the Hound is going to fight the Mountain long enough to keep Cersei exposed, so Arya can kill her.
That'd be tight.
I mean, can it be anything else? That's one of those things that's like, you know, it's such a solid theory. It's not even really like a theory. It's like, well, that's the only thing that can happen.
You mean Clegane Bowl itself?
Right. Well, Clegane Bowl with you know, the whole like
those
two will be fighting, and Arya will slip in while they're fighting. Like that's.
Well, the Hound made it pretty clear to Robert Strong or the Mountain or whoever that is at this point that he's coming for him.
You know who's coming for you.
You
know what's coming for you. Is it what's coming? I think it's what's.
No, that's what you have quoted, so that must be right.
Must be what's.
You know what's coming for you. Yeah, that was pretty badass. Like, he's not afraid of him anymore, which I'd be more afraid of him because he's like a zombie now. But I love the Hound now. I've always loved the Hound, and he was a bastard before, but like now that he's like sort of redeemed himself, I just love him. He's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite character.
I've always felt like the Hound was a protagonist, like at the core of it. Ever since like the first time he's introduced in the books, I felt like this is a guy we're supposed to root for. They give him the whole like childhood getting burned by the like lamp oil or something like that.
Yeah. Well, his brother puts his face in the fire.
Oh, is that what it is? Why did I think it was lamp oil?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But
there was a point in the first season in the first book where I didn't care for him when he killed Arya's friend on Joffrey's orders, but he was Joffrey's dog. But at the point,
he was just doing what he was told.
Yeah, in season 2, where he like saves Sansa, he befriends Sansa a little bit, and he eventually says "F the king." Like that's where he starts to be the Hound we know and love. Right,
like it's from those moments, like when you hear his childhood story, and when he starts to befriend Sansa, it's in those moments, you know, this is supposed to be a good guy, and maybe he'll like go a long way in the story as a good guy.
If we get a Hound Arya reunion, we're probably also going to get a Hound Sansa reunion. We're going to get so many reunions.
We've already had so many.
Yeah, we've had a lot, but like, and Gendry and Arya, Gendry wasn't in the finale, but I assume he's going to be with those guys. So.
Right.
That'll happen. That'll definitely happen.
Yeah.
I suppose he couldn't go with to King's Landing because he just like escaped King's Landing. So it'd be stupid to go back.
Yeah. Who are we talking about? Hound?
Gendry. No, Gendry.
Oh, Gendry, sorry. Gendry. Yeah.
Like, why would he go with on that mission?
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah, it'd be silly.
Do you have any predictions?
Well, I'm curious. Like, I guess you mentioned who you think is going to kill Cersei. There's the whole, this isn't on the show, but in the books, there's the prophecy that, you know, you will have 3 children. Gold will be their hair. Gold will be their shrouds, meaning they will die before she does. Another part of that prophecy is that a character called the Valonqar, which is Valyrian, I think, for little brother, will wrap his hands around your pale throat and kill you. So the debate has always been, who is that? Is it what does little brother mean? Does it mean Tyrion? Does it mean Jaime? Could it be Arya with someone's face on it and therefore making her little brother? Who do you think it could be? Euron is a little brother.
Is it the little brother or her
Yeah,
little brother?
it's just the little brother.
Oh, the little brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
She thinks it means Tyrion. That's another reason she hates him so much.
Is Jaime the younger twin?
Yes. That's what most
Okay.
people think. It's going to be Jaime.
Yeah, I think I'm in that camp because,
Uh-huh.
or it could be Tyrion because that'd be kind of cool too because it's like it was right in front of your face for the like 7, 8, however long the books have been out, 30
Mhm.
years, I don't know. It's like it's been right in front of your face, and it's like, could it be that obvious? Will it really be Tyrion? And then it just, or yeah, even in the context of the story, like, she suspects it's Tyrion, and she for years and years and years and years, and then what do you know? It's Tyrion. Like, but it still happens, and you couldn't stop it. Like, destiny type shit. I don't know. That'd be cool too. But I lean towards Jaime because there is that little like fake in there. He's the little brother because he's the younger twin, and you thought it was Tyrion, but no, it's him. So I think that makes sense.
That's kind of what I think. The only thing that throws a wrench into it is the fact that she's pregnant. Like, would he kill his unborn child?
Well, maybe I don't suppose there's 9 months to wait before the end of this story, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Could the baby be born before I don't
know. I feel like something. I don't know, but the fact that they're kind of setting up the next generation almost with this baby and like perhaps another incest baby with Dany and John's baby.
Both babies have to be born, right?
I feel like they're setting something up with babies. I just don't know what it is.
Well, I hate to bring up Lost again, but there was like a baby thing in Lost where it was like
that never got resolved.
Jin and Sun had their baby, and it was like Ji-yeon or something like that.
They abandoned it to die.
And then Claire had Aaron the whole friggin' show, and neither of them turned out to have any purpose whatsoever. No lost babies. I mean, maybe that's yet to be coming from Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof. It Lost Babies on ABC.
Maybe they're just setting up like then there could be sequels down the road if there's another generation. Maybe that's all they're doing.
Maybe that's all there is, yeah. But that does mean, Cersei has to survive 9 months, have this baby, and then get killed by Jaime.
Or she could die in childbirth, and that's another theory, that it's a boy, and therefore it's the little brother, and that kills her.
The little brother. The youngest brother that never met any of his siblings.
Because they're all dead.
Yep, there you go. She dies in childbirth. How lame would that be if
that would be really stupid.
Cersei dies in childbirth. Oh, that's rewarding. That's satisfying.
It would not be satisfying in any way.
No. Yeah, I think it's Jaime.
I feel like I have this vision of him strangling her with his golden hand, like,
or just beating her over there. Like, well, yeah, choking her with one hand and then beating her with the golden hand.
That'd be satisfying.
Yeah, that's the kind of death Cersei deserves, I think.
If that even, I think she deserves worse, but whatever. She is who she is. She'll get hers in the end.
Will she, though?
I'm confident.
It's possible that they could end the show with Cersei on the throne.
He's not going to throw out a prophecy that ends in her murder and not follow through with it. That dude follows up on his prophecies.
Yeah, he does.
So I wouldn't worry about it. She'll be dead.
Yeah, so how does Game of Thrones end then?
Incest babies rule the world.
Okay. So like John's dead, Dany's dead. I mean, like when it comes to like the final battle, the final war of winter here against the dead army. After that's over, Jon, Dany are dead, and then the babies rule the world.
Yep.
Okay.
Incest babies come together, unite the world against the
Jeez.
evil. And then they
Horrible.
forget the White Walkers existed, and then 1,000 years later, it all happens again. More incest, more incest babies, more dragons. Yo, why aren't they like breeding the dragons? Like, if these two dragons die, dragons are gone.
Are they both? Are they male and female? Like, are they?
More incest babies, incest dragon babies.
And how are dragons made? Do
They
they
have to lay an egg. Someone has to lay an egg.
are they
Then
sexual then? Like
there's theories that they're like they are both.
both what? Asexual?
Like they have both parts. Like they can be either.
Oh, yeah, like hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
could dig it.
term doesn't sound as regal. There's like a more regal thing they called it in the books. I don't know.
Hermaphrodidragon.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like they lost a dragon. They might want to be like, I wonder if we can get some more.
Yeah, I don't know. That's possible. And who even knows where these other dragons came from, man?
Well, they were a wedding gift to Daenerys.
Where'd they come from?
He says in the first episode, I'd have to go back and look, but he says where he found them. They
came
probably
from some land far to the east or something.
They probably are a bunch like in Valyria, but nobody goes there because it's like ever since the doom of Valyria, like you can't set foot there, and all the stone men are there. It's like super cool, but you're not supposed to go there.
The doom of Valyria. What is that?
Oh boy, the doom of Valyria is like, you know how the dinosaurs all got wiped out by some cataclysmic event? Like something similar happened in Valyria, and like no one can go there anymore. It's like a doomed, poisonous land.
I could see dragons coming from there.
I bet there's a bunch of eggs there, but you have to be able to go there. There's like, apparently Euron has been to Valyria and he's acquired some things from there. And that's, in the books, Euron is way more like creepy and magical and mystical and just an effing weird guy. Whereas in the show, he's just kind of a swashbuckling jackass.
All right.
But supposedly he has been to Valyria. Whatever that means, I don't know. Yet to be seen. Or never seen.
I guess never seen, because Euron isn't that way in the show, so
yeah.
he'll never go there.
No.
Or he's never been there either.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I don't think he cares. That Euron.
All right. Any other theories you want to throw out?
Well, I guess my question for you is, do you think when Jon finds out who he really is it even going to matter? Like, he doesn't want to be the king.
I know he doesn't want to be the king. It makes him the rightful heir, right?
Yes.
I don't think he's going to take it very well.
Why?
I don't know. Isn't that just like a really weird thing to hear, especially when you find out that Dany's your aunt?
Well, to find out that Ned's not your dad, which you believed your whole life, might
there's a lot of reasons that it would be really to get this news.
There's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot to take in. Okay, A, Ned's not your dad. B,
the woman I love is my aunt.
You're related to her. C, you're the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. So, Jon, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's a lot to take in.
I don't think it's gonna go well, but he's such a chill bro. He'll be fine.
He's not that chill, and he's not that smart. Like how he messed things up at the meeting, and he could have pledged himself to Cersei and just lied, and instead he's like, "Well, I already pledged myself to Daenerys," and they were all like, "Ah,
I already pledged myself to Daenerys."
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was.
Turns out I've been banging my aunt. Oh no, that's terrible.
Incest
whatever.
Baby.
Whatever, I guess. He's a chill bro. He doesn't care.
He's a chill bro.
No, you're right. He's not really a chill bro.
He's not that chill, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it'll go well at first. I think he'll come around and see that A, you don't want to be king, and B, it doesn't matter if you're a Targaryen. You can be a Stark and a Targaryen, just like he told Theon. So,
yeah, aren't they gonna rule together anyways? Like,
well, they're probably gonna die. I would.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But if they don't die, yes, I believe they'll probably rule together. That seems a little bit prosaic, though, for this show.
Right. I don't know.
Neither do I. We've got plenty of time to speculate.
2 years.
2 years? It's gone from 1.5 years to 2 years. By next week, people will be saying 3 years.
Someone told me 2019.
Yeah, but that's like 1.5 years away.
Oh yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Huh. But I guess that would be if it started in January. If it started in
my guess is it'll
summer
be like,
2019. That's 2 years.
My guess is it'll be spring 2019, like how they used to always start in March or April. I think that's what we're gonna get.
It's
April 2019, which is like 18 months away.
Better be really freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, take your time. Like, if this is it, like if you screw this up, that's it. You don't get to do it over.
Right, but it's a TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone will forget about it, and
no one will ever forget about Game of Thrones. We still talk about Lost.
Yeah,
and it's been like 7 years, dude. Since it ended,
yeah. Like it's like way older than that.
Yeah. That was like a different era of my life.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird.
Very weird.
Any final thoughts on Game of Thrones?
No, it had a satisfying conclusion. I'm not in any huge hurry for them to wrap up because I know that's it. So like they can take their time. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see the end.
Well, buckle in.
I want to see it. So yes, the sooner the better, in my opinion. Just crank it out. I don't even care if it's bad.
But that's what they did with this season, and people had some issues with that. So
yeah, this season was great.
No, it was good, but like the timing stuff, like they cut it down. Well, they cut it down to 7 episodes, which meant things went really quickly. Whatever. People.
Yeah, but what would have been in the middle? Just a bunch of filler then? Like, come
more
on.
incest stuff.
Come on, people. Come on.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the end. Like, let's just see it. Let's get it. Let's go.
I'll see what I can do.
Should we just write our own book 6 and 7?
I think that's called fan fiction, and people don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. And there's lots of people writing that already, I suppose.
Yeah, you can go find out what's happening right now.
I should. Do you think there's anyone who's like writing fan fiction where they actually think like this is what I think could happen or where it was going, or is all the fan fiction like totally just nonsensical?
There probably is, but is it done well? Probably not.
Right. It's probably some like elementary school English teacher. Wait, that would actually be better than probably what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I think so. It wouldn't be good. Don't waste your time.
It's probably some politician or something.
No.
Freaking, what's his name? Sean Spicer.
Writing Game of
Thrones fan fiction. Yep.
That's what he's been doing with his time.
Yep. That's what he's been doing. If you've been wondering what he's been up to.
That's what it is.
I don't think anybody's been wondering what he's been up to.
And I haven't.
I know I haven't either. Yeah, I don't know. Any final thoughts?
No, that's it. Let's put this season away for now.
Yeah, I loved this season. I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know what else to say. I got nothing elegant to say other than kick-ass TV show, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's tough because there's no other show like that. So like, what do you fill your time with in the meantime? There are good shows, but that's really it's in a class by itself. So when it comes and goes, it's like this big event, and it went so fast this year. So, and we're only going to experience that one more time. So savor it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of decent fantasy science fiction shows out there, but like none of them even come close to the quality of Game of Thrones. Like, especially like, well, first of all, it's based on a book that just is so good, that has such a good story with, it's all about character is everything. Like good characters. I mean, this book is the epitome of great characters.
Yeah.
And you make a great show around that. That's really well cast. I mean, this will never happen again. It will be the greatest sci-fi fantasy show of all time, in my opinion. I just don't think you can top something like this. So yeah, enjoy it while you can. And but if you're looking for a drama, I actually really like Halt and Catch Fire. I've been watching that. They're on their final season right now.
Oh, really?
Yep. So yeah, it'll only be 4 seasons, which isn't bad. But you don't need to like computers to enjoy it because it's just a good drama, character drama. But like if you're into computers and nerdy stuff like that, like it's even better. Like if you grew up, they're just ending. This season is taking place in the 90s, so they're featuring stuff like Super Nintendo and like and they're the first glimpses of the internet, like the very first very first web browser and stuff like that. So it's a great show. Halt and Catch Fire, AMC. Do you got any shows you want to pitch, Katie?
I don't. I'm a little behind the times on this one, but The Expanse is a really good show. I've read most of those books.
I really want to watch that.
That's a really good show. It's a sci-fi show, sci-fi channel, but also sci-fi genre. But yeah, the reason I started reading the books is because someone called it Game of Thrones in space, and I was like, sold. So I've read the first 5 books, I think. I think there's only 6 out right now. But yeah, it's if you love a space opera, then that's the way to go.
Are you gonna watch Mr. Robot when it comes back on?
I never finished the 2nd season.
Neither did I.
I just lost interest.
Same with me. But I've been debating like going back and starting. I'm thinking I don't know if I can make myself do this, but I'm thinking about starting at season 1 and just like really soaking it in this time, knowing what happened.
Yeah.
And just that way, like I really feel like I know what's going on with everything. No confusion there, hopefully.
Right.
And then maybe I can barrel through season 2 if I get momentum going.
I feel like it's a binge-watchy show. Like I watched the first season like all in one day. Like that's the only time I've ever truly binge-watched something, other than that time we watched Making a Murderer together. So I watched season 1 real quick, and I didn't have the patience for like the once a week thing. Like, and I just wasn't buying it. Like I felt like I read a theory about the twist, and then it became so obvious that that's what was happening in the first half of the season. So like it was kind of, it just lost its value to me. And I don't want to sell myself short, but I don't get a lot of what's going on in that show. Like a lot of it's over my head.
I think most people feel that way. I wouldn't, Katie, I consider you to be one of the people that does a really good job. Like of all the people I know, does a really good job of like when you're watching something that you like, that you care about, you actually pay attention, and most stuff does not go over your head. So like I'm not surprised that this show of any show is the one that does that, because it really goes over my head.
When they start talking about like, and you have knowledge about like coding and the computer stuff, like I don't even have that. Like I don't even.
Yeah, that's the stuff I understand.
It loses me.
That's the stuff I understand. It's more when they get into like conspiracy, and like when they start referencing obscure characters and stuff. I always like I have a tough time following stuff like that, like keeping track of names and certain
and
threads.
The guy never came back. I'm just thinking about like the Swedish guy or whatever he was. Like I stopped watching and we never found out what happened to him.
Well, maybe he comes back in season 2.
I mean, there's going to be a 3-week period here where I've got nothing to watch, unless you count Big Brother, which I don't really watch anymore. So maybe I've probably only have like 6 episodes to watch to be caught up on that show, but
maybe less. Yeah. Who knows?
I just don't know if I want to do it.
Right. Yeah. Same
Wouldn't
here.
Hurt anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about jumping.
I loved
in.
the first season. I was obsessed with the first season, but I don't know. Second season lost me.
Right. Same here. So they must say something about.
Well, I think it was
if
pretty
it happened
like
to both of us.
It was pretty widely like, ooh, what happened to Mr. Robot? Like I think that was
because we never discussed this. Like, hey, we should stop watching halfway through season 2.
We both just happened to stop at the same point.
So like you got to wonder how many people had the same experience
I think a lot.
where it came to that week where it's like, oh, Mr. New episode of Mr. Robot's out. I'll get to it eventually.
I'll watch episodes of Frasier instead.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Another
Yeah.
great show I've been watching that I want to pitch real quick. If you
Mhm.
haven't seen Adam Ruins Everything, that's a great show.
Mm.
Like really awesome myth breaking kind of stuff. Like very enlightening. It's almost like an educational show, but on top of that, it's also like really funny. It's really funny. So Adam
I've
Ruins
heard of
Everything.
it.
That's on True TV. It's just like every episode, the dude he takes one topic and then in like 3 10-minute segments, in between commercial breaks or whatever. In each segment, he covers a specific area inside of that topic and sort of debunks common misconceptions. Like everybody thinks this is the truth, but here's what it's really like. And another cool thing about it is they show all their research. They at the top of the screen every time he says something that like needs backing up. Maybe not every time, but most of the time, he puts the source at the top of the screen. So it's not
sources are important, people.
Right. So he's not just pulling stuff out of his butt. He's just like, it's been researched. And but yeah, I one thing that gets overlooked with that show, it's really funny. It's like very funny at times, but check that show out. It's awesome. I like it. Big fan.
Good.
You want to pitch one quick since I just pitched two shows?
Well, I've heard The Defenders is really good, but like maybe you guys can tell me this in the chat. Like I don't really want to watch. I don't know. I haven't watched Luke Cage or Iron Fist, and I don't really want to. Like, do I have to watch those to appreciate The Defenders?
Right.
Like I know who they are.
Okay, yeah. There's just too many Marvel superheroes.
I like Jessica Jones. I like Daredevil. I don't need any more, but I don't like. Do I need to watch those other two to get it?
Right.
Sorry. That's it.
Sure. I wish I could tell you I couldn't get through Daredevil season 2. I stopped watching that after the first episode. Couldn't finish.
Wow.
Couldn't finish Jessica Jones.
Okay, see, I watched both seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and liked them pretty well, but
I don't know. There's something about it that's like too. Even though they are well done, there's something amateur about it to me. I don't know. And even like the Marvel movies are barely good to me sometimes. Even though those are really good, like they're really well done and everything. It's the comic book thing. Maybe I think I'm getting sick of it. I think I'm just getting sick of the formula.
And it feels like it's almost factory made. Like just because something's made in a factory doesn't mean it's not shiny and beautiful and you don't love it, but you feel like it's missing something.
Yeah, there's all these shows are starting to lack a little bit of heart because they're getting.
It doesn't like punch you in the gut like freaking, the shows we love do.
Like Game of Thrones.
Like there's no red wedding in any of that stuff, and there's no red wedding anywhere. Like that's a thing by itself. But you know what I mean? Like it doesn't shock you or like just completely devastate you. And that sounds like is that what we want from television?
Is that what you're looking for in a show, Katie?
Like
it's just devastated.
I don't know, but like to feel something. Maybe we've just felt so much because of TV and movies that we're like it takes a lot for us to feel anything.
Maybe. Yeah, I just feel like a lot of these comic book shows are like pandering to the nerds or the hardcore I don't know, because they don't just pander to that audience. I guess they're like pandering to it's one of those shows that panders to what they think people want all the time. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like I'm just losing interest in a lot of those comic book movies and stuff and shows.
I'll say about Jessica Jones, I enjoyed there was like a subtext there about like more like symbolism for like what is consent kind of a thing, and that's kind of why I liked that show.
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
The rest I don't know. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I like Jessica Jones like as a character. It was like just towards the end of the season, like something about the villain wasn't working for me. And I don't know, the story kind of went off the rails, if I remember
Yeah, I
right.
don't remember it that well, but I just felt like I had to see it through. But I've watched shows like I watched The Crown. I watched 8 episodes and just never pushed play on episode 9. Like
Is that
sometimes
the
that
last
happens.
episode of the season
No,
or
there's 10
something?
episodes. I had
Oh.
2 left, and I was just like, I'm done. I guess.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes you
don't
just cut
know.
your losses. You're like,
Yeah.
not worth 2 more hours.
It's really not, I guess. So
Just don't
whatever.
care. I
I
just don't
didn't.
care.
Maybe someday I'll get a wild hair, but hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet.
So yeah, Catie, we need to do some Survivor
Preseason
cast
junk. Yeah.
we really just need to do it. That's all we ever do preseason is cast assessment, right?
Yeah, no, we can do
So
that. We should do that.
I don't know how much time we have, but maybe we'll be able to split it into 3 podcasts, for one for each tribe or something.
Maybe.
Because I know we like to spend a long time on the cast assessment, but
Yeah.
maybe it'd be easiest to just take them one at a time,
It's not a bad idea.
I don't know if there's time for that, but maybe we'll try to make that work
We
where we could
have
squeeze in 3 before
we've
it
got 3
starts.
weeks. We've got 3 weeks, yeah.
So we could try next week to do, like
If we get one out this week, get one out next week, and then the week after that, and that'll bring us
this
up
week
to
too. Do you have this weekend off or no?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could do one this weekend then.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Tight. All right. But yeah, I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been on a tangent for a while now.
Yeah, but that's fun because if anybody,
we like to look ahead. It's sad Game of Thrones is over, so let's end on a positive note, looking forward.
Right. Yeah, so Game of Thrones is awesome.
Good season.
Thanks for listening.
Get hype.
Yeah, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. You can find us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Katie's been killing it on Twitter with
mostly about Big Brother.
with the Big Brother stuff, because I guess Big Brother has like a sort of built-in community.
Well, yeah, basically. Big Brother tweeters are lit. They tweet a lot.
Built-in community, that doesn't make any sense. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
this, an audience for it.
On Twitter, there's like this strong presence on Twitter of like an active Twitter community, and Katie's got a couple sick tweets out in there with like.
Well, all I said was I love Kevin, and it got 1,500 likes and 200 retweets. So that gives you a sense of where people are at with Big Brother 19.
And Catie and I are like, we're like, as you can tell by our audience, we're like very under the radar people. So like to get
that many is a lot.
It's like insane. Like we never heard of such thing. But yeah, so you can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Coming up, we'll mostly be doing Survivor coverage. Maybe we'll toss another show in there.
If there's anything.
And, yeah, be sure to give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Yes, and please. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.